All right, here we go. We're just gonna raw dog this video. Basically, we got big balls in the government, which sounds weird when I put it that way, but it is exactly what it is.
Part three. Here's the interview with Elon Musk and the rest of the Doge crew. We finally asked the one question on our mind. Who's big balls?
Yeah, yeah. Look at him.
That should be obvious.
That should be obvious. Oh shit. Here we go, man. We finally, after all these years, have big balls in the government. I can't even be serious about this. This is way too... Like, that's the type of name my friends would make in a Discord chat. Big balls. But bro using it officially. Bro probably has his bank account marked as big balls, man.
Why do they call you big balls?
I just said...
Oh god, these people. Oh, I can tell these guys are all having... Oh... Yeah, these guys are definitely having the time of their lives. They probably laughed for like 2 hours straight after this shit was done.
That is my LinkedIn username.
Okay. Hey, what username?
I just said it as my LinkedIn username.
Wingjing username. Oh, LinkedIn. Oh, okay. That's a weird username for a job site, but he got a job. But if he can get a job calling himself Big Balls, maybe the problem is not enough people have the balls to call themselves Big Balls on LinkedIn, and that's why they can't get jobs. But he did it, so what makes you think you can't get one?
Okay.
Well, people on LinkedIn take themselves like super seriously, and they're pretty adverse to risk. And I was like, well, I want to be neither of those things. So I said it, and honestly, I didn't even think anyone would notice.
Bro, bro, this is funny as shit. Bro, big balls. Bro, that name definitely stands out. Like, the boss is gonna have like a 5-minute look at your shit like, fuck, man. I feel like he's the type of guy at the bottom of his profile to have PS, I'll be your wife's boyfriend, or some shit like that at the bottom.
Yeah.
So what do you
LinkedIn
do?
is so cringe.
What does big balls do?
Right now, I'm working on some payment computer stuff.
Yeah.
So one of our initiatives is to root out fraud and waste. And to do that, we started looking at the payment computers. And as mentioned earlier, like there is no accounting of what payments actually go to in the payment.
And that is a big fucking problem. This is the government we're talking about. These are our tax dollars. And it's like, oh, there's no record of it. You know what would happen if you said you have no record of the money you make or spend to the IRS? They would fucking jail you. They would fucking jail you in a second. So the fact that the government basically got away with this for God knows how long, it's just super annoying. Anyways, let's keep going.
Payment computer. So like you look at a specific line item, like $20 million. And you're like, okay, well, what is this money going to? And for the majority of payment systems, it's like, well, we don't really know.
Exactly. I had a job like that where they paid water machines basically every single year. And the last payment, you had to go to an email and put the last payment there. And because they always forgot it, for 10 years, the payment would reset itself. So they were overpaying for water machines for the last 10 years. And they only found out when I was working there. Bro, it's probably shit like that the government does all the time. It's just the person accounted for it either fucking dies or retires or just forgets about it. Who knows?
And
Yeah, they're like, what?
Or they're just corrupt and they don't really give a shit.
That would be the response.
Is this the most basic responses?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the most common response.
What do you say when people just say, I don't know?
well, it's a huge cause for concern because like the upstream thing, which is distributing the money, literally has no checks.
Yep.
And no accountability to the actual American taxpayer. So it's
Exactly. Exactly. Because we're the ones paying the money to the government, and the government's just wasting it on useless garbage most of the time. We need to know where every dollar is going because these are our dollars. What's the point of paying a lot of taxes if 40% of them, like for like the people who love like huge taxes and want all those social programs and stuff, What's the point of paying high taxes if like 40% of it gets wasted on useless garbage you don't want? The reality is we need to look into where every dollar is going, because this shit is going out of pocket, to be honest.
It's a huge vector for fraud, waste, and abuse.
Do these people not respect taxpayer money?
They don't.
I mean, there's no incentive to if you work in the government.
Exactly.
I think the incentives will always decide the outcomes.
Yes.
Do you guys feel like you're putting yourself at risk by doing this because you're
Yes, they
stirring
are.
up so much hostility?
Yes, they are. There's fucking Teslas being burnt everywhere and Elon Musk getting death threats all the freaking time. Like random pedestrians who just own a Tesla. Like their cars are being vandalized, destroyed, and all that just because people are mad at Elon Musk. Instead of taking their anger out on Elon Musk, they take it out on some random bystander who just has that car. And now their insurance company doesn't want to accept it because Teslas are now too dangerous for insurance, so they get declined. You fuck them up, they lose their car, they get nothing in return. And then all you get is another broke person who you radicalize to the opposite position just because you were the retard who burnt down their car. And now that's what they think of your group forever. But yeah, I just hate all that stuff.
By these people ripping us off?
100%.
Yes, they are.
Well, we don't need to speculate about that.
Bro, let me tell you this. Imagine if you went to Walmart, you bought $100 worth of groceries, and then for some reason they added $60 extra of stuff to the receipt without telling you what it was, and you're just expected to pay it. Like, you wouldn't be happy. That's literally what taxes are right now. Just an extra amount of money being spent on something that you don't want, don't care about, don't even know what they're spending on. And you're just expected to pay it and be happy about it.
You can see online in the protests that they make that very clear. I mean, I've been hanged in effigy many times, and there have been people that have actively advocated at these violent protests
Yep.
for my death, and have also advocated for the death of the people at Doge.
Exactly.
I think the young folks of us have gotten hate mail, threats from reporters and the public alike. I think, speaking for myself, I dropped out of Harvard and came here to serve my country, and it's been unfortunate to see, lost friendship.
Bro fucking dropped out of Harvard. That's fucking funny. Bro dropped out of Harvard to work at the government. I'd say he went to an upgrade, to be honest.
Most of campus hates me now. But
Yeah,
I
fuck
think
your
fundamentally,
campus.
I hope people realize through conversations like this that reform is genuinely needed.
Yes.
And if there's one, I think this is important to say, if there's one group of people who really have a shot of success, it's the people here. They're up until 2 a.m., Monday through Sunday. Doge does not recognize weekends. We're working all the time.
Fucking exactly. And the worst part about all of this is, think about this. This is just a group of teenagers fixing government deficiency. When like these 60, 70, 80-year-old politicians they've been there for like 20, 30, 40 years, haven't done shit and will never do shit. And they expect you to like them. Like, there's so many people in the government we actually have to get rid of. Because they're either corrupt or doing deals behind the background or just lining their pockets. God knows what. And the moment we find out who it is, we gotta prosecute them for all the crimes they committed. Because these are taxpayer dollars that aren't being sent to schools, that aren't being sent to roads, they aren't being sent to construction. They're being sent to someone's pocket or maybe another fucking nation, just so that person could get a bribe for themselves and be happy.
What inspired you to drop out of Harvard to do this?
Exactly.
There's a lot of reform that's needed.
Bro doesn't need Harvard. He got Doge. Doge is better than Harvard. Doge is more exclusive than Harvard. There's literally like a handful of Doge members. There's at least a couple thousand people that are in Harvard right now, or at least are alive that were in Harvard before.
I think the value of this and the impact here is so much more vast than anything you could learn in a classroom doing computer science.
Exactly.
And you guys are sleeping here, I'm hearing. You guys are up all night. You have this meeting at 10 o'clock every Wednesday?
Yes.
Probably go back to work right after this.
Yeah.
You're
Pretty
going
much.
back to work after this.
Yes.
Right.
It's almost 11
I respect
o'clock.
them.
So that's
That is efficient use of taxpayer dollars. These guys just want to get rid of every little thing they find.
early.
It's early. Can I go to bed? It's an incredible work ethic. You guys should be really, really proud of yourself. Do good people come up to you and say thank you for doing what you're doing?
Absolutely. There are people
Yes.
in the State Department that will stop you, or all of the agencies that we've been to, that'll stop you in the hallways or write emails and say, I was scared to write this, or I don't know if you're interested in this. But they usually have great ideas. And if they often have the best ideas because they've worked in the places and they've been stifled by the bureaucracy for so many years. So
Oh, I love that. If they take advice from people who were there for years, oh, that's the best. That's the best possible thing they could do. Who better take advice from someone who directly worked in the place? And at least take their opinion a little above others.
So one of the great things that, at least in my experience, and we listen to them and empower them.
So
Yes, in fact, I'd like to emphasize that because we'd like to just give a big thank you to all the government employees who are helping reduce the waste and fraud, because this is,
Yes.
really.
Yeah, that's a thing. There are a lot of good people in the government. The problem is there's just so many corrupt people in it that they have to play by their rules or else they'll get punished for it. Yeah. I'm going to say something that Napoleon himself said. 10 people who speak. I'm going to say something that Napoleon Bonaparte himself said, which is 10 people who speak are louder than 10,000 people who don't. And that statement is basically correct on this. They don't need a lot of people, but these guys are the perfect team for it. Because all they need to do is talk loud and do their job.
Couldn't do it without you. So
it's a group effort.
yeah, absolutely. So I'm not trying to sort of say all government employees are bad. That's absolutely not the case. It's just
Exactly. There's
that,
a lot of good ones.
There actually just does need to be a serious effort to reduce the waste and fraud. And we're just making it happen. And a lot of people in the government are very glad to see it happen.
Damn, look. And all it took to reduce government spending was a group of fucking teenagers and some random billionaire. Like, imagine that. Hillary Clinton's been in the government for 40, 50 years? She has not once thought of reducing the government spending. Like all those other people. Like, not and then there's things like the Bushes, which, they have a weird thing. It's like no more taxes and then immediately raise the tax. Yeah, all that stuff.
Really important to recognize every single person around this table that's embedded within an agency is supporting that agency, whether they're working on systems or working through people. We are encountering droves of government employees who are missionaries, not mercenaries, who are actually here serving because they believe in what they're doing. They want to do things well.
Exactly. I love that statement. They want to do something well, but they just can't do it well.
We're trying to empower them, and they feel empowered now to ask the question of why? Why aren't we doing this? What else can we be doing? How can we fix this? And I think agency by agency, it is filled with exceptional government employees, right? And when we give them the tools, when we give them the systems, and we leave behind systems to help them do their jobs better, that's the permanent change.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of even jobs I had like that where they had so many great people who have great potential, but because the management is so shitly run, they cannot do their jobs correctly. Cause I have places where basically everything is garbage. Every decision they've ever made is bad. But some of the workers there are some of the hardest working, best people I've ever seen. They do their jobs well. They keep that place from setting itself on fire. While a lot of the times, management or lack of changes actually hurts the business a lot of the time. And then management is also the type of people to get mad at workers when they do their job correctly and there's nothing broken because they fixed everything. They get mad at them and say, you're not working hard enough now. Why aren't you working? So then they give you a bunch of useless, menial, stupid tasks. Things like stupid work, that's what I call it. Like putting more nails on a light fixture just because it's missing one or two. Uselessly checking every single elevator all the night and all that stuff. Like those are things that should be done every once in a while, but like every fucking day. They'll give you stupid work because they believe you're stupid people. They don't believe in your hard work can get you a break if needed to. They believe in you break your back all summer working hard, and now you must break your back while it's not busy working hard because we want you to, and we hate you. Because we want you to, because apparently $16 an hour is too much for you to be cozy occasionally. You must be working like a fucking slave in order to get it. When there's other jobs that pay more, let workers rest more, or even give workers the tools to work more efficiently, that are far better run for far more money and are more lenient.
Right? And they're embracing that, not because it's new to them, it's because it's something they've always wanted to do. But for the first time ever, we're giving them the tools and the collaboration to be able to do that.
A very important message.
Exactly.
That message needs to get out a lot more. I'm so glad you said that.
We have exceptional people at all of our agencies.
Exactly.
Exceptional. I mean, they do a thankless job and they work incredibly hard.
Mm-hmm.
I love to hear how collaborative it is with these people in these agencies, and it's not all conflict. Sometimes in the media, you always hear about conflict, and you guys are considered these ruthless suits that come in and scare people. But it's
Conflict is the exception.
Yeah, but there's just like
There is
random
conflict,
people.
but that is the exception. It's actually true of history in general. People study the wars a lot, but actually most of the time there wasn't war.
Exactly.
it's just not as exciting.
It's just not as exciting.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, for the TV guys, we like conflict, but in this case, we love the collaboration. So thank you guys. Thanks for allowing me this access in here.
All right, in other news, 100 days of President Donald Trump's second term
Damn, 100 days. That's actually a pretty big achievement.
means 100 days of Elon Musk and his effort to
Damn.
eliminate wasteful government spending.
So, Rich,
Let me quickly check the Doge clock. Check how much it is. Damn. 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 That's a shitload of money saved. Holy God. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. This was my previous video. That was like 2 months ago. Okay, let me go up here. Look at that. 9,000. Oh, wow. It doesn't even scroll in or whatever. But like $91 billion. Damn. Well, that was before, but now we got damn, holy shit, that's a shitload of money saved. That's almost $400 billion, dude. That is insane. 400 billion, it isn't like the biggest number in the world, but hey, at least we're trying. Because there's a lot of things that people are like, oh, it's never gonna work, it's worthless, but then they don't understand that some things are worth trying. Even if they don't come out exactly as you want it, there are a lot of things that are worth trying. Just for the sake of seeing if you can actually make an impact. Even if it's a small one, it could actually lead to something great like this. Like, this is huge. It's almost at $400 billion USA national debt. But yeah, Doge is doing a very good job, and Doge should not be a Democrat or Republican thing. It should be everyone agrees this is an actual good cause to fight for. Because if you think that your money being wasted on random ass shit you don't even know where it's going at is a good idea, like, the reality is, like, you're a sheep. Realistically, you're just a sheep to someone else's ideology. And the moment you run out of money, they're gonna discard you like a piece of garbage and never take care of you. This is why things like this, we should hold the government accountable more. We should do things like that. And if we can't do it ourselves, we must elect the people who will. We need a change, to be honest, pretty much everywhere. Showing every single person in the government that, hey, we're actually willing to fight for our own rights to know what our government is doing behind our backs. And hold the politicians and people who voted for all this worthless garbage accountable. Like, a lot of these people need actual jail time for using money from the taxpayers to either do on their political ideology or spend it on random ass shit to launder money for themselves. Like, they need to be held accountable for real. Anyways, this is pretty much all the uploads for today. I was gonna do one on Trump's 100-day speech. Maybe I'll do like a 2-part one on that. But yeah, he did it in Detroit, and I saw most of it.